Hi there, my name is Jing Yu and I'm currently a first-year student studying accountancy at Nanyang Technological University or NTU. I was previously studying in River Valley High School and have obtained 8 distinctions in my GCE A Levels examination in 2014. So here I am creating a video series for H1 Economics which I have obtained an A in. I wish to share some tips and techniques to you so as to help you better master the concepts. For the first module, I'm going to look into Microeconomics Part 1 and I will split it up into 6 different parts, which is the central economic problem, the theory of demand, the theory of supply, equilibrium price and quantity, price mechanism, and last but not least, price controls and producer and consumer surplus. For this video, we will focus on the very first part, which is the central economic problem. And I'm going to use a past year question to help you understand this chapter. The essay question that I will be using is question 3 part A from the 2009 paper. And the question is, using the concept of opportunity cost, explain the central economic problem that all societies have to solve. Now, in answering all essay questions, you have to first identify the command word. Here, the command word is explain. Explain means to give detailed and clear reasoning to support your answer. So in this question, you don't have to give any point of view. You just have to explain what the question wants you to explain. After identifying the command word, the next step is to identify the keywords. In this question, there are 2 keywords, opportunity cost and central economic problem. So for all your essays, give a definition and a brief explanation of all the keywords that you have identified in your introduction. So for my first paragraph, I'm going to explain what the central economic problem is. The central economic problem is scarcity. And scarcity arises because limited resources available are unable to satisfy unlimited ones. Now, in all your essay, whenever you introduce a new word to your essay, you have to give them a definition. Here, you have to define what resources are and what you mean by unlimited ones. So unlimited ones actually refer to the desire for ever higher levels of consumption. This means that as soon as all wants are satisfied, new ones are created. Resources, on the other hand, refers to the factors of production, or in short, FOP. This includes 4 different factors, which is your land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. These 4 factors will be further elaborated in future videos. After explaining what scarcity is, you have to tell the examiner what results from scarcity, and this will be your second paragraph. Because resources are scarce relative to human wants, individuals and societies must make choices among alternative uses. But in making any choice, there will always be a trade-off. When you make a choice, you have to give out an opportunity of doing something else, and this is known as opportunity cost. Now, we have already talked about scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost. For your main body, you need to tell the examiner a concept that will bring together these 3 words that you have mentioned previously. So, the concept will be explained using the production possibility curve, or PPC. PPC shows all the different maximum combinations of goods and services that can be produced in an economy given the level of resources and technology. So, let's look at what a PPC curve looks like. This is the production possibility curve. It is actually a downward sloping curve that is concave to the origin. For your PPC, in this question, because it is a very general question, you can label your y-axis and your x-axis as good A and good B. However, if any other question becomes more specific, for example, they tell you that the society is producing 2 different goods, mainly rice and wheat, you will have to change your labeling to rice as your y-axis and wheat as your x-axis, or vice versa. But in this case, because it's a very general question, there is no need to do that. Now, I want to explain what scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost is using this graphical representation. In doing so, I have to identify a few points. Here I'm going to identify 4 points and explain more about it. First of all, point A actually represents scarcity because it is actually the unattainable combinations outside of the PPC. Remember, The definition of PPC is the maximum combination of goods and services that can be produced in the economy. So any point on your PPC will be the maximum amount of goods and services that can be produced. And any point outside of the PPC are unattainable combinations. So here is represented by scarcity. Point D, on the other hand, is operating inside of the PPC. This means that the economy can actually produce the combination of goods and services here. However, it means that the economy is not fully utilizing its resources because it is not producing on the PPC. It's producing inside of the PPC. This means that there is underemployment or unemployment of resources. For example, certain workers that have the ability to enter the workforce are actually not working. They are lying around being unemployed. So this constitutes unemployment and underemployment, causing the economy to be producing below its productive capacity. Now, the next part is to explain what point B and point C are, because they are producing on the PPC. So any point on the PPC represents that the economy is productive efficient. This means that all resources are used to their maximum potential and there is no unemployment and no underemployment. However, even though the economy is productive efficient on the PPC, it does not mean that society's welfare is maximized, because only one point on the PPC means that the economy is achieving allocative efficiency. Allocative efficiency means that society's welfare is being maximized. Because the economy can only choose to produce at one production point at any one time, the economy has to make a choice. So previously, we say that because of scarcity, you have to make a choice. In this PPC, we can illustrate choice. Because the economy can only choose one production point to produce at. Either they want to produce at point B or point C. You cannot choose to produce at both points. So there is a choice involved here. Now, because resources have already been fully utilized for points on the PPC, there is opportunity cost that is involved. To illustrate that, let's look at point B. For point B, the economy is producing 100 units of good A and 50 units of goods B. On the other hand, for point C, the economy is producing at 30 units of good A and 200 units of good B. Okay, so in your essay, you can give a random number for all this illustration. So here, this is the number that I make up. Okay, if the economy is currently producing at point B and it decides that actually I want to shift my production point to point C, what happens is that the production of good B will increase from 50 units to 200 units. But the production of good A will fall from 100 units to 30 units. So there is an opportunity cost here, because in increasing production of 150 units of good B, you have to give up 70 units of good A. So the concept of opportunity cost is illustrated by the negative slope of the PPC, which is concave to the origin. Now, in conclusion, scarcity is the central economic problem. Okay, so here we have already talked about the central economic problem. And because of scarcity, there is a need to make a choice in terms of resource allocation, and all this incurs an opportunity cost. So I have actually used the concept of opportunity cost here to explain what scarcity is. For this chapter, I have already explained what the central economic problem is. The next video, I will touch on the theory of demand. Thank you.